The band is back together. What's up, boys?
How about you boys?
Hello, sir.
Oh, look at you guys. Bunch of Richards. I come in and on Tuesday, and I'm like, okay, when's Matt here? Oh, Matt's not here today. Nobody tells me that. Nobody told me you guys. I knew Ken. I didn't know you weren't going to be here. Then you guys weren't here for 2 days. I thought, well, that's a bunch of Richard move right there.
I told you I was going to be out.
Yeah, I know. But
I'm sorry, boys. It just never occurred to me.
I was like, the rule is,
I don't think
it's
about
a new
you.
rule.
I think about vacation.
If one of us is off, we're all off.
I'm fine with that.
Oh.
I was like, my goodness, talk about abandoning ship. It was great, you know, and Johnny in. We got Johnny involved in One Hit Wonder Wednesday.
All right.
You know, we got our man, right? King Louie involved. He did the Dougie. It was funny. People are like, I've never heard that song. I'm like, they probably don't play that on Fox.
Has anybody checked out Johnny's new podcast yet?
It's called Around the Drain, right?
Circling the Drain.
Circling the Drain.
With
Yeah.
Jay Harper.
He said it was doing really well yesterday.
Yeah, I meant to actually listen to it last night, and I got caught up in it, and I just was curious if anybody had heard it.
No. Somebody said, it's funny, I talked about it before our last break because I got an email and said, hey, I just listened to, I don't know if Johnny's told you guys that he's got a new podcast and da-da-da. And I'm like, I didn't know. So we had a nice chat about it. Said it's doing well. Circling the Drain.
Yep. Talking about music.
Yeah.
And that's Brother Johnny B's specialty right there.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he's got lots of interesting stories about Nashville.
I bet. The stories here must be amazing.
Oh, yeah, especially the old Nashville.
Yeah, if you've been, that's one of those things where if you've been in this place for a while, you must think how crazy some of those stories going back in the day are. Because of, this town was the Wild West for a long time.
Yeah, especially whenever George Jones was running around.
Oh, man, how cool would that have been? Just,
David Allen Coe.
Oh.
Hank Jr. Bocephus.
Bocephus. It's one of those things where you look back and you go, man, the chaos that must have happened back in that day. The craziness of guys, getting drunk and then waking up 8 days later somewhere else. It's like, that's my dad. My dad would do that. Call my mom. Where are you? She's like, Oklahoma.
Did your dad ever get on a riding mower to drive to the liquor store?
No, but he would disappear for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, and be like, I'm in Oklahoma. My mom's like, how did you get to Oklahoma? She's like, I don't even care. All right?
Just get me out.
Yeah. The kids have been at school for 2 weeks, and I'm not picking them up.
Well, George was such a raging alcoholic, but the stories that came out of that were so funny. It was hard to hold it against him, even though we probably should have.
George, what was his name? Was it Harrison? The
Beatle?
No, the other guy. Harris. The actor.
Oh.
What was his name?
Richard Harris?
Richard Harris. They would talk about, he would go out for a drink. He'd tell his wife, I'm going to go get some man down at the local store. And he'd go out for a drink. And she goes, I wouldn't see him for 2 weeks. Sometimes a month. And he would show up at the house and she goes, I'd be mad at him. And he'd knock on the door and he's like, why didn't you pay the ransom? She's like, I can't be mad at him for that. But it's...
The response should have been, I did or you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, but you hear those stories because the alcohol, part of their genius was those kind of things, right? All those actors and singers, Richard Harris, and I forgot who the other guy was. They used to do a play, and they said they would have intermission where they would be on, and then the other one would come on. I forgot who it was. They'd run across the street and get drunk, and then they could come back and forth in the middle of the play. And you think, hey, you couldn't do that today. But it destroyed their life. Their genius was all of those things, but it also destroyed their life. I mean, that's the sad thing about all these people that rob themselves. But it also wouldn't have been the same if they were boring. We don't want boring kids. We got enough boring. That's what politics is for. It's never boring in the world of politics. I see they're grilling RFK Jr. I'm surprised he didn't stand up and rip off his shirt.
That would have been great.
He's like, I'm jacked. What do you guys think of that right there? Those are 6-packs.
He's probably healthier than 60% of the people in that committee.
Oh, easy. Probably 90% of them. What do they ask him? Why don't you like vaccines? Here's my thing. If Trump wasn't involved, right? Because everything with Trump, it turns it into chaos because you have to resist against him. And we can be honest, RFK Jr., even before Trump, there was always stuff with RFK. He was a bit, he was a little bit, he wasn't the lion like Ted Kennedy.
He's kind of the black sheep of the family.
Yeah. So there was always some of that kind of stuff with him. But you take Trump out of it, like a lot of the stuff he talks about, I think is good. I mean, I'm not a plague enthusiast. I don't think we should tell kids you should never ever get vaccinated for anything. But, talk to your doctor.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah. And
Talk
if you
to your
don't trust your doctor's information, find a new doctor.
Right.
How is it that your uncle basically commits manslaughter and you end up being the bad guy in the family?
Yeah. It's a different time.
The times were simpler back then.
They were way simpler back then. I mean, yeah. Have you seen that movie about what happened when Ted did that? That like they all rally around him and it has like all these great actors in it. And
it was just called Chappaquiddick, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it actually had oh God, what's his name? The comedian Jim Gaffigan in it.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, but he's brilliant. It's all on how they went about phrasing this. They used to all go to the old man, right? And he's like, I crashed the car. And he's like, what are you going to do about the car? Well, the car went to water and she was pregnant. Oh my God. And did you really crash it?
Well, it wasn't my fault. I was really, really drunk.
Yeah. Somebody said Richard Harris bought a Rolls Royce and forgot it for decades. That seems like something. Like, how cool is that? That is but crazy. But he lived a long time.
Phil Collin from Def Leppard, there's a story where he and Steve Clark went out drinking one night, and when he woke up the next morning, he had a $50,000 Rolex on his arm, and Steve was like, what do you care? You can afford it. He goes, I don't remember buying it.
Yeah.
And that led to him completely stopping drinking.
You're also married, by the way. You're also married. So those things you're going to have to deal with. That is, I could never imagine myself, because I don't drink and I don't do drugs and I don't do anything. And we're a big supporter here, by the way, of the weed and the drugs. We don't care if you do it. Live your life. That's fine. I just could never imagine people getting that obliterated and then not forgetting anything. I mean, for not remembering anything, waking up places, never knowing that like to be that out of control. That's got to be crazy. Delicious. Got a little energy drink. That's about all I do here. That's my crazy. What? I wonder if RFK Jr. is going to get rid of energy drinks.
Don't say things like that out loud.
I feel like that's something he'd do. He's going to be fine with the THC as long as it's grown naturally and it doesn't have any whatever, any olive oil in it or seed oil.
Basil,
whatever it is that he doesn't like. I didn't even get a chance to talk college football. Were you happy with your football team?
No, I was not. I'm concerned.
Tell me why.
The trenches, offensive line.
They're not getting down? They're not getting down enough?
Yeah, not good pad level, and we should have rushed for many, many more yards against a FCS team than we did.
Wow.
So, I'm concerned.
Man, that sucks.
Now, the Vols, the Tennessee Vols look good because Syracuse was making a late push. But then Tennessee said, all right, let's just get physical. Let's just go out there and knock the hell out of them. And they did. Little ball control, just eating the clock up. And that was a good win for the Vols.
That was a good win.
Even though Syracuse put up a good fight there at the end.
The Qs. Somebody said, what's my go-to energy drink? Right now I'm doing First Form, for those of you.
First Form.
Form Energy. Orange Fury.
I honestly believe that you choose energy drinks by the color of the can.
Yeah, because I love orange. It's my favorite color. And I hate purple. I've got a purple one in there, and I won't drink it because I hate it.
Interesting.
And it just...
Why did you buy it?
My wife bought it, and it's a standby one. It's like, just in case, because, sometimes my man Matt will come in, he doesn't have anything. So First Form, I like, and I drink Monster. I'll do one of the little ones, but that's it. I don't drink anything else, and I like to have one a day, sometimes two. Somebody said, Jason wants to know what your input is on college football, Bell, because you're such an athletic...
Get him, Brother Bilal.
I don't care.
From the South, my butt.
I am not a sports guy. I've never really given a crap.
You've never cared about sports, huh?
Nah.
Our sports team, did you see this, Ken?
What's that?
Tennessee,
The Titans?
worth $6.8 billion or $3 billion.
Well, let's buy it.
You're buying exclusivity, man. You're not buying a great team right now. You're buying exclusivity. There's only about 30 other people in the world that own franchises.
Yeah, that's right.
Nobody's selling. Right? Nobody is. We were talking about, what do you think the Cowboys are worth?
It must be amazing to be that bad and worth that much.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good thing. Like, Cowboys got to be worth 20, 15, 20.
Easily.
You're buying a name that is worldwide. You go to the darkest parts of Asia and Africa, and somebody's wearing a cowboy hat.
Dallas Cowboys, the franchise worth well over $10 billion.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, that's nice. It's good money if you can get it.
Yeah.
And that's if you were to, but you put it on the market, just like Ballmer when he bought the Clippers, it goes from $2 billion to $7 billion quick.
Yes.
Because other people who have that kind of money start bidding on it. Oh, man. All right, coming up, we got a lot of stuff today that we're going to get to. Some fun stuff, some crazy stuff. Job hopping, the job numbers out. They weren't great. Some people panic. You know what? You got to let it run its course, whatever it is. And people need to start taking in the AI stuff. You got to start taking that into account now. AI is not just something that's in the future. AI is here, and it is changing at a speed that is frightening. And I don't think people realize that. And this is going to affect a lot of people. There'll be some good stuff. But right now, with the job numbers, I'm telling you guys right now, this is part of it. Talk a little bit about that. We got more on Epstein. He's still dead. Always good on that one. But, man, the White House has to start figuring out how do you bring it out there in a way that doesn't make you seem like these women are liars, because that's not a good look either. Talk a bit about that, a bunch of other stuff straight ahead. If you're missing the show, we always say what, Belle?
Shame, shame, shame. You should have known better.
Oh, that's interesting. I see that Andy Ogles wants Trump to send in the National Guard to Nashville. I'm like, really? I mean, is it that bad? Do you feel that terrified? I mean, we have a little issue here and there, but I don't think we need it in Nashville. Do you guys feel terrified in Nashville when you go outside? Do you feel like something's going to happen?
Well, I don't go outside, so.
Well, that's true. Doesn't count for you. But Ken, you drive here with your windows down.
I drive here with my windows down. I haven't had any problem.
Okay.
I mean, I don't hang out in Nashville.
No.
He drives back to Murfreesboro where they have LPRs.
That's right. but I've covered my license plate. They can't find me.
Oh, there you go. There you go. See, that's the way you do. You have that spray. You know, they've got that spray for some of those that make it so it blurs out tell you guys how to do stuff. Used to be butter you could put on it. And that's how we used to get across the toll roads in California, to put some like this greased butter stuff, and it would never read it. Or there was like a 60 yards before it took the picture, so you would drive through and then you would change things really quick. Like that. So yeah, Ogles is grandstanding. I would say that's absolutely true. I know it's a shock to think that a politician would grandstand.
Never happens.
Never. But I don't think we need. And I don't think, here's the thing, this is all, a lot of this stuff is show. And you know that. And Trump loves that stuff. Lee would have to ask him. And that's not going to happen. And if we're going to send something like that here, you're going to send it to Memphis. Because as bad as Nashville, and I don't think Nashville's that bad, it's not Memphis in certain areas. So, but yeah, I know. The grandstanding's spectacular. We had to hear, who was here earlier we were chatting with? Because tomorrow night's the big debate, right?
Oh, Jody Barrett.
So tomorrow night's the debate. I'm interested in Matt. I'm like, it's got to be so tough for Matt not to just yell at these people. That's why I'm not allowed to do this.
I know.
Matt
In
never
his
yells at anybody.
I know in his heart he's going to want to do it, but he's also so professional that he'll just keep it. I mean, he's there to moderate, not be part of it.
It is, yeah. That's the whole point, man.
He's there to moderate, not escalate.
Yeah, he would like to escalate because you know why? It's not even about escalating and screaming, yelling. It's about being able to ask a follow-up question. Because the first question, you know this, Ken? It's the jab. You're setting yourself up for something.
Yeah.
You want to loosen them up, and then you want to go in.
It's the follow-up question, which is usually, but why?
Yeah.
And they're not doing follow-ups in this debate, are they?
No. And the question's the question. So it's one question for every. I wonder if he asked that. Does he just ask it once and then go, Gino, Barrett, whatever. Does he do that, or does he have to re-ask it to everybody?
I don't know.
He should wear top hat and tails. Monocle. Come out, just make a spectacle of the whole thing. Again, why I'm never asked to do stuff.
He should wear a big belt buckle that says boss on it.
I would dress up in one of those, just one of those costumes that looks like I'm a mascot. Make you answer questions to me. Dress up like a clown. All right, let me ask you a question. All right, Mr. Funny Man. So
why are you dressed like a clown? Because I didn't want to be the only one. I didn't want to be the only one here who isn't.
No doubt. It is, but I hope we're going to talk to him later about it. You're going to ask your own questions. How's this work? Do you have to? Is it submitted? I mean, do they all have to okay the questions? I mean, because it seems like it's very. They want to make it sterile and kind of easy, but what are you going to learn from people?
Matt's very last question will be, why do you hate liberty so much?
That'd be great. So you hate freedom, right? That's what I hear.
Sounds like you don't like freedom very much.
That's right. You hate freedom in America, and I heard you jump around on the flag. That's what I heard. So this will be it'll be a good thing. I wish they would do more town halls rather than debates. Everybody gets 30 minutes, right? 40 minutes. And you just sit there and people get to ask questions.
That's the thing, though, is when you get into a town hall, you're getting asked real hard-hitting questions.
That's it.
You're getting asked what the people really care about. And not only that do they care about what they're asking, they went to the trouble to show up to ask that question.
Yeah.
They took time out of their lives to come and ask you that question. It matters to them.
They drove somewhere on a time that they didn't want to, in a day they didn't want to, where they had better things to do, gave up time, like you said, with your kids, your family, just sitting around doing nothing, to come ask you a real question. And that's why I think you get more out of that, where it's just, let's sit around and talk. Let's take the pretenses off and have a conversation, because you're going to learn more that way and be able to challenge people without being, ridiculous. So, but I could, I was like, they asked me to do it once, and I did it for the Republicans out in Palm Springs. And as I told you guys, it did not go well, because I got a lot of this out of me. Oh, really? Can you guys hear me roll my eyes? You should. Coming up, we're going to talk a little bit about RFK Jr., vaccines. I'm going to pose a question, you guys, about vaccines when we get back, because I think it's important that we have an honest question, again, a conversation about this, because it becomes, no matter what it is, it becomes 3, 4, 5 times the size of something in controversy, because Trump, even though he's not involved, he's involved, is the way that everybody looks at it. And you've got to always resist no matter what it is. You shook Trump's hand, I have to resist you. That's the kind of stuff. We'll talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Talk 99.7. Gonna read one of these things. Promised I would. Dig in for Bobcat Dirt Days. It's a week from tomorrow. It's 12. So the Bobcat of Nashville and the regional stores. So Super Talk, that's us, 99.7. We're going to be out there live. Chris Hand, then myself, Ken Weaver, Joan Rivers. She's not going to be there. She's going to be there in spirit. Joan Jones. It's actually the anniversary of her death today, as well as all this crazy stuff that's going on at Bobcat. They're going to celebrate. They got snacks, which we love, industry pros, exclusive parts, 25% off rentals. Come on out. Check us out. Now, where are you going to be, Ken? Do you know? Which store?
I was going to be at the one in Lebanon.
Okay.
But I thought that was next week.
That is next week.
Oh, I thought you said tomorrow.
No, I said a week from tomorrow.
Oh, okay. I was getting ready to say, wait a minute. I've got to change my plans.
So,
I've got to change clothes.
You think they're going to let us drive one of those things?
I bet you they don't let us get anywhere near.
Probably not, but you know what? We can ask.
Yeah, we can ask.
So Chris will be out there. I'll be out there. Joan Jones, not Joan Rivers. She will not be out there. If Joan Rivers shows up, we got a problem, people. And Ken's going to be out there as well. So come out and hang out with us. We'll have goodies for us and goodies from them. It's going to be fun because we're going to be driving around dirt stuff.
I got a buddy who, I mean, this dude is like a jack of all trades. I think he was just born knowing how to do things. He can operate heavy machinery at a construction site, and I don't think he's ever had any formal training for it, but he can just do it. And so he's had people make him like the site foreman. I mean, he'll just hop up in something and just turn it on and boop, off he goes.
I've been in a few of those. They're fun, but now some are so, it's not like you see like Footloose where it's just got one thing and you go forward, backwards.
Exactly.
Thing goes, no, it's totally different now.
Yes.
It's a spaceship.
Yes.
Vaccines. Okay. So you think about vaccines, the perfect thing is pre-COVID, the left was more vaccine resistant, right? Because Jenny McCarthy and everybody thought you could get autism from it. And there was a lot more of that, I want my kid to be natural granola. Then COVID came. And when COVID came, the people on the left, they're getting 12 shots and 48 boosters. And the people on the right that used to be like, you guys are plague enthusiasts, are now going, hold on a second. No. And then it became a fight. That's why you need to talk to your doctor. And you know what? Some doctors, it's hard because medicine is a business. It's really weird because we want this free market, but we want medicine to be free of the free market. We don't want it to be business. We want it to be altruistic, like they're doing it for this reason and only this reason. Well, they're not. They're doing it because it's a business. It's a for-profit. They could pretend, like hospitals, we could pretend we're nonprofit. You're making money. Nobody's doing this for free. Go to a nonprofit hospital and ask, is anybody here getting paid money or are you guys just all donating your time? No. So, but once COVID came because of Trump, and it's not Trump's fault, but because of Trump, like it's pre-Trump, after Trump, everything became politics. Science became politics. And it was already starting to become that way in colleges where, it's like, you're the greatest mathematician of all time, but what is your DEI statement? You're like, what? I work with numbers. Do you work with African-American numbers? No, just the regular old numeral kind, just the ones you draw. It didn't matter. But now we're at a point where you can't have conversation. Everybody goes and looks at the lens of all kinds of stuff through politics when we shouldn't. You ask your doctor, So I did a thing today. I was born in 1970. It was way back when. And for the time I was born to 18, I would have gotten 5 shots. So you think about that. Now, by the time a kid's born today, through their 18, they'll get 16 boosters and total 50 shots. Now, we didn't guard against a lot of stuff. There was only so much back in 1970, right? It's like, you're not going to get polio. You're not going to get this. I don't think they had chicken pox or shingles or HPV or any of that. So you're not going to get any of those things because they weren't formulated yet. And I often wonder, what would things look like if Trump was involved? Would, the RFK thing, today was a battle, and there's no doubt. You guys heard, he and, what's her name? Elizabeth Warren, they got into it. I expect those kind of things to happen because he is, he's not going to hold any punches. We know where he stands. He's not a vaccine skeptic. He wants data. I'm fine with data too. We should all want data. But when we get the data, we got to believe it. See, that's part of the problem in today's world is you can get the data. If you're already thinking it's not good data and you're coming at it, it's like, I'm not going to believe whatever it is. Well, then you don't argue. You just move along because it's not there for you.
Promised that you would not take away vaccines from anyone who wanted them. You just changed the classification of the COVID vaccine.
I'm not taking them away from people, Senator.
It takes it away if you can't get it from your pharmacist.
Well, most Americans are going to be able to get it from their pharmacy for free. Most Americans will be able to get it from their pharmacy for free.
The question is everyone who wants it. That was your promise.
No, I didn't. I never promised that I was going to recommend products with which there is no indication.
When you said...
And I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
Did you hold up a big sign saying that you were lying when you said that? Because you are the one who said you would not take them away. Now, Senator Kennedy,
I'm not taking them away from anybody.
Secretary,
you want me to indicate a product for which there is no clinical data?
Senator,
is that what you want?
Secretary Kennedy, you said you wouldn't, and now you did.
I'm not taking them away. Everybody can get access to them.
No, they can't walk into a pharmacy the way they could last month and get access.
It depends on the state. It depends on the states.
A year ago,
but they can still get it. Everybody can get it.
And it just goes on and on. And the reason for that, this is about who pays for it. Not whether or not you can get it. Right? I mean, that's what this is. Is the government paying for your COVID shot or is it not? It's the same thing with a lot, like the flu shot. You can get it at the supermarket. You can get it all over. Well, what about here? What about there? This is who covers it, who doesn't cover it. And they just go on. And he hits her with it. You got like $900,000 from the pharmaceutical companies. Did you know that? She should be like, you killed a bear. That would have been hilarious. Nobody has fun at these things.
With a bicycle.
That's right. Yeah. And then you put it out in the middle of Central Park and it was a mystery for years. After you left it in your car for hours. Weirdo. I wish we didn't look through the lens of politics and everything. And Trump, he loves to fight. The media loves to fight with him. The left lives for him. They raise money off of him. I mean, I often wonder, what are they going to do when he's gone? What are you going to do? You're going to have to come up with something. You're going to have an argument for things rather than Trump's bad. And on the right, what are you going to do? Now that Trump's not there. Because a lot of people live off of Trump, because of Trump's orbit, you've been dragged into opportunities you wouldn't have before.
To a certain degree, they'll live off of his legacy and go, this is the result of a Donald Trump presidency, and this is why we can't have nice things. And that'll last a good election cycle?
Maybe. Yeah, it is. That's a maybe. It might last an election cycle or not. You don't know. Because it also depends on how things are going. But so many people, and some of you are texting, I mean, think about it. You take away the politics of COVID, and would people have gotten a shot more readily had they not been forced to? And I've had my vaccines. I did. And I will tell you guys this right now. I have tuberculosis. I test positive for TB. Because when I was a kid going to school in Long Beach, California, we were some of the first to get what they called them back then is the boat people from Laos and Cambodia. They escaped the Khmer Rouge and the wars going on. And I was 13. And they weren't vaccinated for anything. And they came over and they were sick. And nobody, you couldn't ask me what the hell tuberculosis. I might as well have said consumption. I wouldn't know what it was. I was 13. I didn't care. I cared about girls and soccer, which is not good for school, by the way. Kids study. So, but I test positive, and I had to take a pill for a year. My mother did too. And it's what they call inactive. So now they took a pill. But yeah, vaccines are important. Do I think you need to give a gazillion vaccines at once? No. Do I think they need to spread them out? Yes. Do I think you need to hear all sides of a conversation and argument? Absolutely. But unfortunately, in a world of affirmation and my belief is this and I want to win everything, we can't do that. He's not, by the way, being skeptical, everybody should be skeptical, more skeptical about stuff. I don't know why we're not. I don't. I mean, it's crazy. It's like even with the vaccine, for COVID. And I got the vaccine. Okay, I did. My kids never got the vaccine. They didn't have to. They weren't going to get sick. They weren't. My mother, she didn't get my little brother, who's in a wheelchair. I'll post a picture of him. You guys want to see? He's in a wheelchair. Can't talk, can't walk, can't breathe. He's got brain damage. He's got cerebral palsy. He eats out of a tube. He breathes out of a tube. She didn't get him to, and my mom, everyone always laughs about my mom because we grew up living in dirt. I mean, the Gen X crowd, let's be real, we probably fared the best because we grew up, with rusty nails and dirt.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yeah. We, in fact, we would rub dirt whenever we would get cut by rusty nails.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I mean, it's, come on. At least one of your friends got tetanus once. Jimmy can't open his jaw. But if you look through isn't that hilarious, though? Lockjaw. All right, guys, how you doing? Oh, what's wrong with you? Oh, he got lockjaw. Okay, now.
We've been wishing for this.
This is awesome. Jimmy, you were always a tool anyways. But when you look through the lens of everything so political and you can't come at something not neutral, but you take in everything. And I've had so many people say, well, my doctor says it's safe, but I don't believe them. Well, then find a new doctor. And if you're not going to believe the doctor, then just do what you think is right for you. And I do think we have a responsibility somewhat in society. But do I think we over-medicate our kids, for God's sakes? Little Jimmy won't stick still. Here, take a pill, right? There's that. So-and-so's got a paper cut, quick, antibiotics. And that's why all these new resistant things to antibiotics, we overprescribe, but we also need to listen to what people have to say when, and be open-minded and ask questions. And it's good to be skeptical. It's not anti-anything. It's just being open-minded is a good thing. All right, coming up, a lot of stuff. The DOJ is trying to find a way to ban transgenders from owning guns. I think that's, first of all, that's what they're saying, which, by the way, is not constitutional. We'll talk probably about that. That was right out of nowhere.
Hey, you know what? The founding fathers wanted you to own a gun unless you had a penis and wore a dress.
Yeah. Well, they wore wigs, put on powdered makeup. Well, you got to look good, right? Because all of them look like...
take away their muskets.
Okay, maybe only muskets you're allowed to have. Only muskets. Coming up, we'll talk a little bit about that. A bunch of other stuff. You missing the show, share money, grab the podcast. Chat, Bet, Show. 997. Football starts tonight. Just want to let you guys know that. Football, baby. So they kept the kickoff thing in there for good now.
So that's how it's going to be.
That's how it's going to be.
All right.
And it's weird because they want to generate more run backs, right? So, and at the same time, they want to make it so it's less violent.
Yeah, so you're colliding at 15 miles per hour rather than 25 miles per hour.
That's pretty much what it is, right? So that's back. They've got is it the Hawkeye? I think it's the Hawkeye or the Eagle Eye is going to be the way there's no more chains.
Oh, okay.
So there's something in the ball, and they used this originally. It was in tennis. And it's fun in tennis. So what happens is the guy will call, for I want you to look at that because I think it was out. And then it gets quiet and everybody starts clapping. And then they show it on the screen. They've got something inside the ball, I guess, that will be electronic. And it'll tell you if it crossed the first line or the end zone. So, like in a sea of humanity, how's that going to work? Right? I don't know. But so it's going to be fun. It's football. Football.
Big dudes knocking the hell out of each other.
Big dudes knocking out little dudes and little dudes running away from big dudes. Just insane. It's so crazy. I'm pumped. I'm so excited. Like college football, I did nothing. You guys had, on Saturday, my wife goes, because I made her go buy, we got to go get a new TV. She's like, So we went and got a new TV Friday night.
All right.
And it was just, I just sat there. She just gave me.
How big?
I was like a 50-inch. We didn't get anything too big.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to be out there all the time. And I watch football and I watch soccer, the other football. That's it. I don't really watch anything else. We have our shows every once in a while, but I'm always so busy. But she just knew. I was sitting there just eating junk on Saturday. Just, oh my God, look at this. Oh, look at Army's losing. Ha, 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 ha. You know, you don't even care. And what I love about college football is you start out with Texas and Ohio State.
Yeah, that was a good game.
It was.
I love a defensive battle, man.
That's what it was. That was 3 yards in a cloud of dust. And then Monday night, old Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick, man.
His team couldn't even score as many points as his girlfriend's age. Remember we had, what's his name in here? It was always God, what's his name? The big dude, the brother. Michael, or what was his name? When he was doing his men's thing and he came in here and he kept saying, Chad, do you really think
yeah. I cannot. What was his? I can't remember his
I want to say Wilbon, but that's not. It's the other sports guy.
I know who you're talking about.
But he kept getting mad because I thought, who cares if Belichick has a 21-year-old girlfriend or 23? He's got
She's willing. She's willing.
He's got 6 Super Bowls and millions of dollars. He's a grown man. She's a grown woman. Kinda. You know?
Well, she's legal.
Yeah, she's legal by more than a few years.
Yeah.
And she's hot. Spend it as you want, sir. Hour number 2, straight ahead. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.